Now it's time for Movie Friends with your hosts Michelle and Seth. We're talking film without pretension. We're finding cats that are unexpected. We'll watch a movie, film, or schmovie, and we want you to join our journey. So subscribe and share this podcast, or this might just be the last of the Movie Friends. We're movie friends. We want to be your movie friends.
Welcome to New Release Review, part of the Movie Friends podcast. My name is Seth. Today we are discussing Iron Lung from 2026, directed by Mark Fischbach. Now we will be discussing spoilers throughout this entire episode, so if you have not yet seen Iron Lung, please turn this off, go watch the film, and then come back and listen. My guest for today is Seth from the Bog Frog podcast. That's right. There's two Seths on today. We'll try to not be confusing. Seth, how are you?
I'm very good. Hello. Lovely to be here.
Now, before we talk about Iron Lung, I wanted to ask you if you could share with us what your show is about.
All right. So the Bog Frog book podcast is we're going through a slight shift in how we're going to do things, but elevator pitches. We are basically a book club. We pick a book, we talk about the book. Sometimes we will also talk about a movie if we don't have enough time, or some other stuff. But we're three friends who love reading and wanted to do it more. And one of our favorite podcasts just kind of disappeared. So we're like, well, what if we made one? So what if we made a podcast ourselves? And so we did it.
Wow.
We started around the same time, actually.
Oh, okay.
I think I started like late 2023.
Got it. Just a couple of Seths starting out on their own. Very cool. Very cool. What's the last book that you covered?
The last book that we covered, it's actually been a minute because we took a break for the holidays, and we are currently in the process of editing a bunch of episodes to release. I believe it was Speaker for the Dead, the second book in the Enders series.
Incredible.
Yeah, it was co-host James. It's his favorite book ever. We covered Ender's Game last year. Beautiful, beautiful book. Absolutely adored that thing.
Definitely. Orson Scott Card was one of my favorite science fiction authors growing up, and a lot of people are familiar with Ender's Game, as they should be. It's a fine little book, but then you read Speaker for the Dead, and it's like, oh my
it's so
goodness.
Good. It blew my mind.
It's so different. It's so much larger. It's just so much more mature and more interesting. The whole Ender series, highly recommend. I've read every one, unless they made more. But
they're still making. They're doing like prequel stuff about the war before Ender's, which is written by like somebody he's mentoring at Brigham Young University or something.
Oh, okay.
Also,
right.
I just realized, showing how prepared I am. Actually, our last episodes were about Man in the High Castle, the Philip K. Dick novel.
Okay.
But sci-fi, I think we did Speaker for the Dead this year as well. So we're in that zone. Very
all
good times.
Good. All good. Now, I wanted to ask you, Iron Lung, the film by Mark Fischbach, a.k.a. Markiplier. And I hope I'm saying that right. I've never seen a video by this guy. I have seen the name bandied about. Now, listeners, if you're listening to this, you must please extend me a little bit of grace. I am an old person. And what I have found in life is that there's a cutoff where if you are before the cutoff or after it, YouTube is something very different to you. Here's what that is. I am after the cutoff, which means to me, YouTube is where I go to learn how to fix my toilet. If you're before it, YouTube is where you go to be entertained and or watch people talk. I don't do that. I could name you maybe 5 YouTubers, and I've never watched a video by any of them. So I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm not saying that I'm cool and that I'm smart. I'm simply telling you this is not my world. And so please forgive me for not knowing anything about this guy. I'm sure he's a nice guy. But for you, Seth, other Seth,
Yes.
you selected this film to talk about a really long time ago.
I was checking. It's like it was supposed to come out last year, and I was like, yeah, we'll cover it. At like the beginning of 2025, we were listening because I remember it was. I sent you like a bunch of movies, and it was around when Working Man was coming out, so it was like March or something of 2025.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
But yeah, so I've had my eye on this for a while because one, I've always been aware of Markiplier. Never been somebody I've personally put a bunch of time into watching. That kind of like Let's Player, because that's what he does. He does Let's Plays of video games where he's like live reacting to them and playing them. Not really my scene. He's done a couple other like more ambitious projects. Unus Annus was one where it was like 365 days of doing one video a day, and then at the end of the year, all of them will be gone, and they're all like, that was like a big emotional thing for a lot of people. People seem to love that thing. And
like he deleted all of them?
Yeah, like it was him and a friend, and he just like, it was 365 days, and he announced it at the beginning of the project. We're doing this, and it'll be a limited thing. I think uploads of them exist somewhere, but obviously like that's a different experience. And then, they were all gone at the end of the year. I think he did like a horror anthology on Amazon like last year as well. Like he's been kind of dipping his toes. He did a documentary about his mother and her immigration from Korea, I believe. Mm-hmm. So he's seemingly been dipping his toes into this movie thing for a while. Sure. But I mostly picked it because I'm a big fan of David Szymanski, who made the video game, The Iron Lung. Indie. You play some video games. You've played a video game or two in your life.
I've played many video games, just not in recent years. And if I told you the most recent video game that I played, it would probably be 6 years old at this point.
Yeah. So David Szymanski has pretty much exclusively been a like PC game. Like all of his stuff is like released on Steam or released on itch.io, like very independent stuff. His biggest game is like a first-person shooter that he worked on with like a bigger team called Dusk, which is very fun. One of my favorite first-person shooters in the world. But I've been a fan of him for a long time for making like really simple, quick, less than 2 hours long horror games. And Iron Lung came out in like 2023, I think. And I loved it when it came out. And then it was like, Markiplier adored it. And it was like, I'm making a movie. And I was like, that's insane. So why not? I want to check it out.
All right. I'm a fan of smaller games, indie games, something that's not like, hey, you're going to download this and you're going to need like a separate hard drive for it.
Yeah.
And you can play it for 500 hours.
The joke on the Steam page for Iron Lung is that the requirements at the bottom of the Steam page literally just say, you can run this.
Okay, so I did download this last night. I didn't end up playing it because I had some stuff to do today, but I think it said like the file size on the Wii or the Switch, the Wii. I think the file size on the Switch was like 89 megabytes or something.
Incredibly small.
I was like, that can't be. That's a picture. What are you talking about?
It's awesome. Yeah, my partner Kat watched the movie with me, sight unseen, much like you, I imagine. Literally had no idea what this thing even was. And then I had them play like we kind of switched off. They haven't played many video games, but I was like, try it out. And they enjoyed it quite a bit. They got through the whole thing. It was it's pretty short.
Yeah. I mean, I paid for it, so I'm definitely going to play it, but yeah. Okay, so as far as the movie goes, you went and saw this like 3 days ago?
Thursday night. I work at a movie theater, and we did an employee screening after opening night.
Very good. Okay. What were your initial thoughts on Iron Lung?
I don't think it's like a great movie. I think it's like pretty okay with some great things. I am pro Iron Lung. I am on this movie's side like 100%. I'm happy that it exists. I think it's awesome that it's doing so well. But and I was never like in the theater being like, I wish I wasn't watching this.
Mm-hmm.
But I was definitely feeling it. Like I was like, oh, this is not the greatest thing in the world, but I enjoy it overall. Like tacit, like middling positive feelings.
Right.
What did you think? What were your thoughts about it?
Okay, I did have a moment where I was like, I don't want to be in this theater anymore, because prior to watching the movie, I drank an entire bottle of cranberry juice and then an entire bottle of Coke Zero.
Oh, yeah.
And for some reason, I thought that would be okay. And I was like, I kind of have to use the bathroom. And then in the movie, the voice on the box says 30 minutes. And he says 30 minutes. And I was like, I bet you that Mark Fischbach is doing that thing where when a character in a movie says that there's 30 minutes left, that there's 30 minutes left in the actual movie. And if there's 30 minutes left in this movie, I'm going to pee my pants. And so I got to tell you, I was in a mostly empty theater and I was all the way in the back row. The last 5 to 10 minutes, I was getting up and just like pacing my aisle like multiple times because I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. I was paying attention, but I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready to leave this theater.
That's very fair.
Yeah. Drinking faux pas aside, I didn't feel that this movie has a lot of things working against it. Except for one. And that one thing does make everything good in it seem not as good, and that is the runtime.
Yeah, it is like demonically long. I saw the run. I could not believe it when I checked the runtime. I was like, I mean, like, not everybody will get through the game in the hour that like I think is like the average.
Yeah.
But that is about as long as if you just sat down and played the game. And that was my biggest issue with it, is that the monotony of the game, because it is just like you are checking a map, looking at coordinates, and slowly making your way there without being able to see anything.
Right.
And you're like going around, sometimes taking care of the iron lung itself. But it's pretty monotonous. Like,
yeah.
But when you're in the thing and you like are hearing all of this ambiance, and it's like, you know, you are in a dark room on your screen, and every time you hit that button, it like a bright white flash comes, and like you're taking a picture of the outside. Like, it is more effective as like an atmospheric piece when you are actually in it, compared to when you're just kind of watching Markiplier go through the motions.
Yeah.
Even with like a lot of stuff is added, like backstory wise.
Okay.
For Mark, it's all kind of like vaguely in the game, but you don't really get like knowledge of who your character is in the game, even a little bit. Besides, like, you are a convict and you're being sent into this thing, but you have no idea what you did, or like there's no back and forth really. Like,
so the whole like, my name is Simon and I was on this thing and then I destroyed it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get any of that.
You don't get any of that. Even like, so right around when the movie got announced, there was an update to the game that added the terminal, like the little computer that you see in the movie that he's like that.
Oh, wow. That's not in the original game?
That's not initially, but right after the movie got announced, it was added, and you never have to interact with it in the actual game. But if you type, there are like, you can mess around with it, and if you type in certain things, you get like little bits of lore that you wanted before. So like a lot of the stuff that is mentioned is like Filament Station or whatever. The place that he blew up, that's in there. You can kind of learn like what happened, which is not that it like blew up, but it's been like irradiated and nobody can live there anymore.
Okay.
And you like find out all these interesting, and it's like scattershot and you don't really know what's going on, and that is effective in the game and maybe less effective when you have to like fill in an over 2 hour movie.
Yeah. You know, I know that there is an idea with studios and film exhibitors that like people don't want to pay to see a really short movie, or that's the belief. You know, they think that people, if they're going to the movies, they want to make it their whole evening. And so if you go and watch a film that's 75 minutes long, that doesn't feel worth the price of admission. I disagree completely.
Oh yeah, no, I'm so excited when I see a movie is short. I'm like, oh my, this is incredible.
Yeah, no, yes. I think that for people who don't watch movies that frequently, a longer runtime maybe not that bad. But for people who watch movies every day or multiple times a day, when you get a couple of incredible 80-minute films, it's like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. And for this film in particular, like I said, I didn't think that his acting was necessarily bad. I really liked the design of the Iron Lung. I liked that you don't know a lot about what's happening. All of those things would have not run out of steam had the film been a lot shorter. Like I wouldn't have had as much time to be less than impressed with his ability to fill up the entire screen with just himself, you know, fill up the entire experience with just himself if it was so much shorter. And genuinely, like after 45 minutes of it, I thought such a small amount of things have happened that this could have been cut down to 15 minutes. I mean, it would have been aggressive, but 15 minutes out of the first 40, that's bad.
I definitely, I think you could, obviously, you know, I respect that Markiplier like seemingly had like a vision for this. Like, and I'm also, did you see like Five Nights at Freddy's 2 last year?
I only saw the first one. I didn't love the first one, so I didn't really.
Let me tell you,
the second one.
That second one, people disagree with me, I think, broadly, but I do know some people agree. I think that second one is like embarrassing. It is like less functional as like a narrative, and I don't care that much. I'm not like movies have to be a certain way. It is just like less functional on basically every level than that first one. And then I like watch this and I'm like, okay, this like works. Like you can tell that Markiplier is like, I want to make a movie, and I appreciate that he had like ideas, even if I don't think that it works out. I think he could have made a tight like 80-minute movie out of this and probably like gotten the atmosphere of the game pretty down pat and had that admittedly really fun, at least for me, fun and cool climax that is maybe a little lessened because I had to wait so long to actually get there.
Yeah. The other major problem that we run into is if you're doing a movie that's just you, or disembodied voices, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. There's a lot of examples. Blue, the film that's literally just a blue screen the entire time with people talking behind it. My Dinner with Andre is another really...
I think about Secret Honor, the Robert Altman film, which is is great. I think that movie is incredible.
Yep. Mass is an incredible four character movie where two couples are coming together to have a conversation about something. Anyway, there's so many examples, and like you said, I really believe that knowing all the rules of like what makes a movie work, you can't live by that. You have to be open to people being artists and doing different things. And so for me, with this movie, I love that the game came out in 2023. He obviously very quickly attached himself to the idea of, I'm going to make a movie about it, because it takes a long time to make a movie. Even a simple one like this, it takes a long time to make a movie. And so I appreciate that he was very passionate about it, that he was very passionate about the idea. I appreciate that he directed it and acted in it himself. Some people might say that that's, you being full of yourself. I don't care. I think that that's
This is
really
like,
incredible and hard to do.
I don't know. Like, as somebody who you are not tuned in, Markiplier is like, admittedly, like he admits this, he is like rich. Like he is made he's one of the most popular YouTubers of all time, has made an absurd amount of money off of this thing. And the fact that he's like, well, I just want to make a movie, a $3 million movie, like roughly, off of this, like it was $6 at the time, and then it like went up to $8 at some point, and then like it's like this small game. And even himself, he's like, I don't know if I'll make any money off of this, but I believe in this and I want to do it. Like that's like the ideal rich person thing to do.
Right. We want our wealthy citizens to be making art, not what our wealthy citizens are currently doing with their money.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, like, and I haven't delved into like the behind the scenes stuff. I know there's some, but like the fact is like, yeah, we built this massive object and put it on a contraption that'll shake it around and like move it up and down.
So, some of those stunts were great. I mean, they looked great. I don't know if they were all practical, but they looked pretty real. Good. Yeah, I mean, it really looked like he was being thrown around. Look, it's like when I think about this film, I feel that it's a shame, because I feel like there was so much that they did pull off. And I think it's a good example to anyone who does make things that editing is really, really important.
It's really important.
Not being too precious, not being committed to what you originally thought, what you originally wrote. If you get there and your cut is, an hour and 40 minutes, and you sit there and you think, okay, yeah, this doesn't work, you gotta cut it. You gotta make
I think it's John Waters who is like, if you're ever editing something and you ask yourself, should I cut this? You just should, like almost 100% of the time.
Fantastic advice, Yeah, and so it's a shame, because I did enjoy a lot of it. One thing that I was saying earlier was, if you're going to have your main character and then it's just a voice, you cannot have them argue the entire time, because that's adding to the frustration of the people watching it. I wasn't like, I want to know what's going on. I want to know why the stars are disappearing. What is going on at the bottom of an ocean of blood that has anything to do with stars disappearing? Is this all made up? Is this a religious cult and they've lied to people? I didn't really care about too much of that.
Yeah.
But just that the dialogue was mostly back and forth arguing instead of silence. I would have preferred silence. I genuinely would have preferred just watching him make little maps.
Yeah.
And, be fixing, making repairs, getting hurt. Then, okay, but after I do this, you're going to bring me back, right? Yes. And then 5 minutes later being like, you said you'd bring me back. Well, okay, but you have to do this other thing. And then 5 minutes later, okay, but if I do this, you're going to bring me back, right? Me just saying that to you, person who's listening to this in your phones, this is boring and annoying, me doing it. Now imagine that over the course of an entire film.
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
Over the course of 2 hours. I do wish, because there's light bits of humor, and I'm curious. I don't know what Markiplier is thinking, but I am curious if he purposefully avoided humor or like the more jovial aspect, because that is like what he's known for. And I do appreciate how little, basically not at all, he's leaning into in the movie the fact that he is a famous YouTuber who everybody who is seeing, or most people who see it already love. He is taking it seriously. He's playing it straight. And then you get some funny. I love the moment. It's like, I had water the whole time. Like that's like the funniest moment in the whole movie to me. It's really good.
But even then, he opens it and he smells it first. Which, if you know anything about, survival skills or being in any kind of broken down situation, he does the right thing. So like, his character, even in this light moment, his character knows, don't just drink this water, make sure that, it isn't contaminated or it has bacteria that would produce a smell. Like, and I took note of that and I thought that's someone thinking.
Yeah. Like that's a
in
decision.
This world. Like that's good.
And I like, I do really wish, and part of it is that, especially with, any adaptation of anything runs into this problem, and especially video games, because and I love gamers. I was mostly a video game player before I just randomly got super into movies. But most people who like play and love video games are super anal about details and minutia that does not matter and just does not like translate to the screen. And I was like, I wish he would have complicated the experience of being in the sub and like really dug into the minutia of like, how would you deal with this situation? Because like in the game, it's incredible. It's like there's 4 buttons that you have up and down, and then you can like turn and you can see your coordinates, and that's basically it. And then you can hit the button in the back to take the picture. But that's basically all you do to like interact with the thing. And it works for a game because it's a game and like you're playing it. But for a movie, I would have loved to see more of that process.
Now, is
for
the
no
game,
other reason.
Right. Is the game first perspective?
Yeah, you're first person. Okay. You are first person in this sub, and you can walk around, and then you are just moving across this ocean that you can't really see at all because it's blood. And you can and you have like a little radar, and it's telling you like you're about to hit a wall. Don't do that. And you have coordinates, and that's basically all you got. Besides the pictures that you take that you can like see a little bit outside, and there will be spooky stuff out there sometimes.
Yeah, it reminded me of a 3D Minesweeper, which I don't know if you're old enough to remember Minesweeper.
Yeah, absolutely. I played Minesweeper.
I was like,
bored at school on the computers.
Yeah, I was like, this is a very fun concept, the idea of piloting blind. And it's like, all right, I don't really know where I am, but through the process of elimination, I'll figure out kind of where I am. And okay, yeah. So I got that. And like you said, that's fun for an hour to 2 hours. And if you add horror or if it was like a fun game, if you logged in and it was like, good morning, here's your room that you are going to pilot around, good luck, like that might not be as interesting. But when you add the scary element to it, then flying around in the dark now becomes scary. I had a question for you because he keeps taking photos of the outside, and I gotta tell you, I was like looking at the the theater screen, like, am I supposed to know what that is? And am I supposed to be afraid of it? Because it just looks like someone took a bunch of selfies of their nostrils, and then like turned it gray. I had no idea what I was looking at most of the time. And then we get this photo and it looks like a walrus or a seal, but big, maybe. And I didn't laugh, but I said to myself, I was like, that's it? And I was like, wait a second. Is the bad guy like, and I don't even know if it's a bad guy because I don't know anything that's happening in this movie. Were we just looking for like a big walrus this whole time?
Incredibly in the game, it is even more like opaque what you are actually like trying, because it's incredibly vague. And I think the issue, and I love David Szymanski's work, And I like his writing. I think the vagueness of his writing, which is like consistent throughout a lot of most games that he wrote solo, it works when it's like you're walking around a place and it's mostly about vibes. It's mostly about like making you feel something. In the case of Iron Lung, like a little unease and like claustrophobia.
Yeah.
Or like in something like he made a game before this called The Music Machine, which is like melancholy and like kind of like this nice autumn vibe. And you're just kind of like finding notes of people talking and like it's very somber. But like, and that works really well, again, for a game when you're in it and like you're an active participant in the atmosphere instead of a passive one. And I have no idea how I'd adapt it. Like, besides, like, I would have made it shorter, personally.
Right.
And probably also not had, like, any dialogue other than the initial stuff, frankly. Like, I think I would have, like you mentioned earlier, I would have loved just kind of, like, silence, the creaks, like, in him just, like, doing the damn thing.
You can double up. Like, the movie starts with this, like, extremely deep, scary voice being like, the stars are gone and the planets are gone and everyone is sad, but there's this blood moon thing. Oh, there's an ocean of blood. It's like, okay, all right. And so you think, like, I gotta pay attention, this is gonna be important. And kind of not really.
Yeah, it's kind of just like
you just take that and put it into the middle of the film and have it be dialogue. You have it be it's called exposition. Like, who is that voice? Like, is that a narrator? And why doesn't the narrator return? Is that a character? Do we get to know that character later? You know, like, there's ways of doing it. And there's ways of, okay, hey, let me talk to you because I'm down here and I'm scared. And so the person on the other end of the speaker is like, yeah, sure, tell me about yourself. And so he tells the story about Filament Station. And there's ways of filling in the gaps and telling the story and expanding on the very little bit that you have without adding runtime. And that's I'm going to be a broken record this episode, unfortunately.
I think that is the issue everybody has. And I've seen some takes, but like, who cares, from random people on Twitter. So it doesn't, none of it matters. People are like, this is a problem because people don't have the attention span. Like, I watched a couple weeks ago, I watched the 7-hour cut of Abel Gantz's Napoleon. I can sit and watch a 2-hour movie. It's just, it's mostly boring. And that's a problem.
Well, it's an issue of, mystery. Is this a mystery? If it's a mystery, you have to give us something to unravel, and you have to give him something to unravel. Instead, it's a mystery where everyone's yelling at each other. There's long sequences of dialogue, but you can't hear what's happening because there's all this other loud noise, and then the speaker is like...
There's a section where the speaker is like repeating a word. It's repeating like 2 words over and over again. And I had to I had to close my eyes and focus. I was like, what is this saying? It is saying hull breach.
So I think it was saying hull breach, but the B was cut off.
Yeah.
So it would come through as hull breach. And good. I mean, that's an interesting, you have such little to work with that your sound design is trying to make things interesting. I thought the movie sounded good. It's just that there were a lot of times where you have people giving these performances where they're saying something, but it either doesn't mean anything because they're not actually revealing any information.
Yeah.
Or you can't tell what they're saying.
And I think that is a problem with the setup of all the stars and any planet that had an atmosphere suddenly is gone or is no longer inhabitable.
Can I interrupt you for 1 second?
Yeah.
Is that in the game?
Yes, that is the set. The opening monologue that you hear is the opening text of the game.
Okay, all right.
That is
continue.
basically, and then you get, there's like one segment of voice lines in the game at the beginning where the person is like, here's what you got to do. And then basically any other information you get that isn't just like stuff that you extrapolate from like the environment that you're seeing, the places that you're supposed to be taking these pictures, is just like from the terminal if you choose to interact with it. But I think the problem is like, it is a great idea. Like, it is an evocative thing. It's like you are alone in a submarine on an alien planet in an ocean of blood.
Yeah.
I do not know if there is any answer to the mystery of that would be satisfying in any real way, which is a problem that is kind of mitigated by the fact that it's like, oh, it's a small little experience. But once you have like a movie, it just kind of like, there's nothing really, you don't go anywhere really.
To me, it's like, okay, so everything doesn't have to be, and this is something that audiences have all experienced the fatigue of due to, you know, the superhero, also like Fast and the Furious, like everything has become the highest stakes of all time.
Yeah.
My stakes are this guy. My stakes are Simon. I don't want him to die. I don't want to watch him drown in an ocean of blood. Okay. So when it becomes, retrieving this black box will save humanity. Is that in the game?
There is no. Okay.
So just don't make it that thing. Just make it like
it is. You know, you can find SM8, the ship. You can like take a picture, and then like you can type some stuff in the terminal, and you do get some information that in the game is like, okay, SM8 is like a different thing from the normal Iron Lungs in that it is a research vessel specifically. It is like the people that are sent down in SM8 are expected to return, whereas the people in the Iron Lung, it's either you get some stuff and like that's neat, or you die and then it's like, who cares?
Right.
So like there's like, okay, there's stuff on there that might be vaguely important, but you have no idea, like you truly have no idea why anything, and it's never said like this will save humanity. Right. It's just we might figure something out, but I don't know. None of that seems to matter. Like I don't, which is fine. You know, if I was in a world, if I saw a ocean of blood on a moon somewhere, I would probably be like, what's going on there? Regardless.
Right.
But yeah, it doesn't have that. There's no illusion that you are really doing much of anything other than like discovering something, and then who knows? It's incredibly vague in the game. So there is like a lot of stuff, like he's trying to fill stuff in there, and I don't I don't agree that it was the best decisions necessarily.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you know, I don't want to be super down on the movie because I appreciate pretty much all the elements that go into it. Okay, I want to ask you about this ending where we go full Tetsuo the Iron Man, and he just like melds with the ship. Maybe
something is going on.
How'd you feel about that?
It looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know, like that was a big thing like during the run up where he was like, we have so much blood. Like so much, like because a lot of like when he's like going under, like going into the bottom, and he's like wading through that blood, like he's doing that. Right. That's something that he's actually doing. Like there's real fake blood. I think it looks cool, but I'm also like a lot of stuff. I'm like, it doesn't really. It doesn't feel like it means anything. That's like, it doesn't really like cash out into anything that like impacts me other than it's a cool image. Whereas like something like I might not be able to tell you why Tetsuo the Iron Man like affects me so much with that ending, but it does, and I like have emotions attached to it.
Right.
But with this, I'm like, that was cool. That was neat. It was neat to look at. It was an exciting thing to happen, but I didn't feel much towards it.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, at this point, I'm really just like, okay, I genuinely have no idea what's going on. Like I put in my notes, in a very broad sense. Yes, I know what's going on. I know that there's a person in a submarine and that they're trying to get samples of either a skeleton or a living being or a black box. Like I get that. I get what's happening, but then the whole thing, like when he encounters this other person or voice or ghost in the machine or whatever that thing was, I was like, all right, now I'm lost a little.
Yeah.
I'm lost at the walrus because I don't know if that was supposed to be scary. And then I'm like, okay, so is he? So there's two great tropes that I love in movies. One is I never told you my name. Love
Good.
that.
It's good.
Love that so much. And then two is if you're listening to this and you have not seen The Matrix, I guess fast forward a minute or so, but there's going to be spoilers for The Matrix 2. The other thing that I love is, oh, you're not the first one. You're like the 100th one.
Yeah.
And in this movie, you get the idea that like he's going down there, he's da-da-da-da, and then later on he realizes like, oh, you've done this a bunch of times before, and like you are purposefully killing me, and you know, whatever. I liked that a lot. So then I'm thinking, okay, maybe being in this ocean of blood makes a person meld with their machine, and maybe that walrus thing is one of the old people that they sent down here. Oh, maybe this is all going to tie to, oh, maybe this is like the next step forward in human evolution, a la 2001 A Space Odyssey. You know what I mean? Like I'm like trying to think of what's happening, and at a certain point I was like, I don't think anything's happening.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I don't think anything is happening.
Like, yeah, I don't really think anything is like, I do think he is like purposefully evoking 2001, especially like with some of the sequences where it's like focusing on his face and there's colors everywhere and there's blood splurting, like, and not in a way that I think is like overt in the sense that, like, I don't know. Did you ever watch Shelby Oaks? Did you watch Shelby Oaks, the other YouTuber produced horror film?
I meant to, and I think that I think it came out at a time when I was really busy at work, and also like it didn't have a huge rollout near me.
Yeah.
So it just became like I'm not gonna be able to see it in theaters.
But I think this is a better movie than Shelby Oaks. But a big problem with that is like kind of taking a bunch of iconography from other movies that are more successful in ways that are like pretty distracting and like blatant. And I didn't feel like that with Iron Lung, which is nice because I feel like that's like an easy thing for a lot of like first time directors to fall into. But even making a scene that like makes me think of 2001 is not helping you in any way, because I'm thinking like, oh well, that movie like has all this resonance to it, and like I don't think this like pays out into anything super meaningful to me. Right.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, I guess I'll just say I did not fully enjoy this film in its film experience.
Yes.
In the fullness of what it is, I didn't enjoy it. But what I will also say is I think that it is an accomplishment in every other department than editing. And I would even say if Mark Fischbach makes another film, I would be interested to see that, because there was enough technical, there was enough going on in this that you can tell that he's interested in telling a good story.
Yeah.
He maybe just wasn't able to get out of his own way a little bit or whatever. But I would be on board for another one. Like this wasn't a disaster. It's not a disaster. It's just too long.
Yeah. I don't think it's like abysmal. in any way.
Mhm.
Like, it is competently made. You can tell that he like took it seriously and was like,
Mhm.
I want to make something that like looks and feels and like sounds like a movie. There are some points, like especially during the beginning, where like every once in a while it had that like YouTube fan film feel to it on occasion.
Yeah.
But I think overall it gets past that.
Yeah. And also, I will say, I'm a major fan of low budget movies. So
Yeah,
even
we
if
both
something
are.
is,
We're both.
yeah, even if something is a low budget fan made, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, shoot something on your phone, shoot something on, you know, VHS. Just
just
tell
has to
me
be
a
good.
story. Yeah, it just
It just has to be good. I'm pro good movies. I've seen a lot of low budget trash. There are 13 Camp Blood movies out there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, Camp Blood. That's one that I just recently. I haven't jumped into yet, but I became aware of, and I was like, "Oh my god, there's a lot of these."
There's a lot of them. I became aware of them like a year ago because me and my friend were writing. I are still kind of in the process of rewriting a slasher, like a low budget slasher script. So we were like, "What's something we can like put on that'll like kind of help us just get in that headspace and like get the blood?"
Sure.
So we were like, "Sure, Camp Blood, whatever." Like, and then it was fine.
Right.
It's like you know what you're getting into when you look at it.
Yeah. Yes, I think people should make movies because making art is an expression, regardless of how it's received. Money, even talent, should not get in the way.
Yeah,
you should express yourself, and you know, I'm glad that this guy did this. You know,
I'm glad he did it. I think people should make movies regardless of money or talent, and I think Markiplier has talent on display here. And also, this is a movie that I think a lot of young people are seeing, despite its R rating. I've let a lot of young people in to see this movie because I'm like, it's fine. There's nothing in there that's like
there's nothing in this. There's negative things in this movie other than
blood and they
language
say fuck,
and
I think twice.
A little bit of bubbling skin at the end.
Yeah. And I think this is something that would genuinely like inspire a young person to be like, how'd they do that?
Right.
Which is more than I can say for like, I don't know, the last 20 Marvel movies that have come out.
Right.
The next one that will come, the next two that will come out this year, that'll cost $1 trillion more than this movie.
Yeah.
It's awesome that it's doing well. I like, no matter what, I think it's cool that a self-funded, self-published movie is number one at the box office right now for $3 million.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's a win. It's a win overall. And it's at least a promising start if he decides to continue making films,
He seems pretty even keeled about all criticism for it. He's commented on some other reviewers and been like, thank you for, treating it seriously and like doing this. Like he, all accounts, seems like a great guy and like he's not too up his own ass about everything. So
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, living in the comment section for the last who knows how long. I mean, you have to either become completely numb to it or appreciate it for what it is. Like, I can't imagine. No, thank you.
It seems like hell.
Yeah. Seth, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Blue Sky at Seth Amphetamine at Blue Sky. You can listen to me at the Bog Frog Book Pod. Wherever you get podcasts, should be there, should be somewhere. That's should be good.
Hey, if you liked listening to this, we'd love it if you give us a rating and a review wherever you are listening. If your podcast player allows comments, you can do that. You can also send us an email, moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought about Iron Lung. Markiplier. Did we say it right? I don't even know. Let us know. You can also support the show, patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. Hey, listen, folks, look, it's a crazy world out there. Prices are rising literally everywhere. You went to buy a banana last week. Now, that same banana is going to cost you $10. You know what's not going up? That's right. A Movie Friends podcast Patreon subscription. And that is the one selling point for signing up. The price doesn't change. I'm just kidding.
That means something to me.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of stuff going on. You get access to all of our additional episodes and series. You get to join our Patreon-only Discord. You get to vote on upcoming episodes every single month and quarterly themes. Wow. You also get ad-free episodes because, look, we don't like the ads, okay? I'm just going to tell you right now. We hate them. No, wait, actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. But I'm going to say it anyway. We hate them. We don't want you to listen to them. So sign up at patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. All right. Well, Seth, thank you so much for bringing this onto my radar.
Of course. And thank you for having me.
Get it? That was a radar joke.
Whoa.
Because of this movie?
Because of the movie with the radar.
Yeah.
You should you should do a submarine unit.
Like a whole
yeah, like down Periscope, K-19, the Widowmaker.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably others, right? Yeah.
Das Boot, Under Siege, I think.
One of them, probably. The Steven Seagal.
Yeah, I think that's about a submarine. Maybe it's just a boat. I don't know.
I truly don't know.
Anyway, Seth, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Other Seth. Seth Prime.
And hey, thank you very much for listening. Until next time, have a good one.
Movie Friends is produced by Seth Vargas and Michelle Rubenstein. Theme music by Jean Marie Vargas. Visit us at our website, moviefriendspodcast.com, and please subscribe and rate our show wherever you are listening. You can support Movie Friends at patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. Thanks for listening.